Welcome back to dreaming this dream called life. It could be a really peaceful dream or it could be a nightmare sometimes. It all depends on your perception. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing how you can become an empathic warrior. And actually, I'm going to do a series of these videos because there's so much information I want to share with you from my own personal experience. So I'm going to just go into a deep heart-to-heart conversation with you, sharing what I have learned and stepping into becoming an empathic warrior. An empathic warrior is someone who is compassionate, intuitive, a caregiver, or a codependent, the one that always wants to take care of everybody else. But a lot of times with empaths, what we find, and I know from my own personal experience, we're taking care of everybody else, but we're forgetting to take care of ourselves first and foremost. So this is really important to understand this aspect of an empath, which is a really beautiful characteristic and a personality type and a way of being, because you're very virtuous and you have a heart of gold and compassion, and you just want to help the world. You want to help everybody around you. But now it's a time to step back and come into your center being and take care of yourself. So I am guessing maybe you're here because right now you may be feeling confused. You're in a relationship with a partner or a friend or a business relationship, but there's this confusing energy going on within you where you just feel like something's not right. This is your soul intuition telling you to pay attention, because there is something going on. It's almost like this push and pull in relationships where you want to be there for somebody, but then you're feeling this energy of maybe, feeling attacked, not listened to, unheard. You're just not feeling a balance in the relationship. And it's really interesting when you look at balance, because from my personal experience, my mother always said to me, you got to take the good with the bad. And I listened to that. But then one day I said to myself, well, that's really good in theory, but what about if I were to write down all the good and all the bad and weigh it out, put it on a scale? And once I did that, I saw how imbalanced the scale was. So I encourage you, that's the first exercise you could do, is start writing down with whatever relationship you're in, the good, the positive qualities, and the bad, the negative qualities. What's going on? And it's not just a one-to-one thing like, okay, this side has 5 and this side has 20. Those 5 might be way more energy than the 20 combined, if that makes sense. So you want to just go within yourself and your intuition and your feeling inside to really see where this relationship is and what's going on, because we want balance. And the one thing really is, when you look at it, is reciprocity. Is there reciprocity in this relationship? Is there giving and taking? Are you receiving? So if you're always giving and giving and giving and you're not getting this equal receiving back, you're going to feel an imbalance in your being, in your soul. So when you start doing this, it's going to start opening up your eyes a lot to exactly what's going on. So this confusion that you're feeling within yourself, it's really hard and challenging to identify. It's cognitive dissonance, where what you believe to be true in the past, or these different identities that you chose to have based upon your subconscious mind, your interpretation of what your mind understood, is so different from what is actually going on in a relationship. So it throws us off, because a lot of times when we're young, if we're grown up, if we're raised around an imbalanced family, it becomes these energies become comfortable. They're familiar to us. So in our energy field, where it feels comfortable, even though you're in a lot of discomfort when you get older, there's this comfortable feeling. So there's like this push and pull and back and forth, and you just can't wrap your mind around it, because it is just very hard for you to even comprehend that you are in a toxic relationship or dysfunctional relationship or narcissistic relationship. So once you start identifying these patterns and going back into the feeling of your intuition, of what is really going on, what are you feeling, and pay attention to that feeling, that's when we're going to start moving through a lot of patterns, a lot of identities. And actually, identity, I have my card, identity, and it's really interesting because this is from my Soul Wisdom Oracle card deck. And I have in-depth information. If you want to go very, very deep, just go to my website and explore, because now I have a soul portal where we come together and talk about all this stuff. In the soul portal, you're going to find meditations and EFT, emotional freedom technique, to tap through all these blocks and get to the bottom, the root, the common denominator of all of this. So with our identity, it's like taking off these old masks and coming in and stepping in to our highest power. So we do that by just understanding and changing our perception. We have this perception from what we believe to be true, from what our subconscious mind or the lower self or the ego tells us what is happening. But then there's the soul, this intuitive side that knows. It's the higher self that's guiding you along the way. So it's combining the heart with the mind and bringing this into balance and really coming into this place of this divine will, this divine guidance of what is really going on in the relationship. So if you're here, I'm sure that you're feeling off balance or confused, and it's not a very good place to be. I'm in my mind, like while I'm talking, I just want to take some moments to go back to from my own experience, so I'm able to share with you what was going on in my mind. And now I look as like, oh my gosh, how can I help my younger me? So that's my divine mission in this lifetime, is just to be able to go through these life experiences and understand them and learn what I need to learn and grow and change my perspective and my whole interpretation of life, and be able to move on and expand my consciousness. And that's what I want for you, because everything in creation is consciousness. So when we have this consciousness around us and this our energy field of some dysfunction that actually was very uncomfortable, traumatic, we have this in our field, and we just keep attracting these toxic, unhealthy people into our field. So what I'm here to share in this whole video series is for you to be able to expand and deepen this consciousness, to erase all of this attraction from your field. And there's a lot to it, and I'm just so excited to share all this because it's really juicy stuff. So understand, in this consciousness, you are attracting whatever you need, these circumstances or situations or conditions. They're only being brought into your field for your own soul's growth, the evolution of your soul. So thoughts act according to their nature. So whatever you think, whatever you believe, wherever your mind is, whether in this lifetime or another incarnation, there's just, life is eternity and we're immortal souls. But it just keeps going, on and on, wherever your thoughts were, you're going to create this in your field. But we need to come to acceptance and becoming aware of this. Because when we accept and embrace and know that everything is happening for us, for the next stage of our spiritual evolution, we begin to see life completely different. from the eyes of the soul, the wisdom of that inner soul. And life does become much easier, much happier, and much more joyful because you have this understanding. And then you could say, oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for this situation. Even though it feels like a nightmare, you're going to be able to be in acceptance because you know that it has something crucial for your growth. And that gets exciting when you can become grateful for everything happening to you in this lifetime, whatever kind of situation it is, and begin to see it and learn what it's trying to teach you and show you so you could take this layer off of your field and keep moving and expanding into another higher consciousness. And one of the great ways to think in your mind is, what am I to learn from this? Just ask Spirit, ask your Creator, get a journal and write it down. What am I to learn from this experience that life is handing me right now? And how am I going to grow from this? And who am I going to become? When you look at past experiences of something that happened to you, think about it. Look how much you've grown from all those tests and trials. They don't come to you to hurt you. They're coming to you for you to have an opportunity to develop yourself, to strengthen your spiritual muscles so you can fly free and know that there is no separation between you and Source. That's what Reawakening the Soul is all about. And that's the name of my company, my foundation, is when we're reawakening our souls are awakening to the truth of our existence as this divinity. So really, we are God in action. We are here expressing this divinity, this divine aspect, this joy, this love, which are all beautiful characteristics of God, or Spirit, or Source, or cosmic consciousness, or love, or the divine Mother, Heavenly Father. It doesn't matter what we call it. It's all one source. And this one source has become us and wants to express through us this same energy of love and bliss. This is the natural state of your soul. Bliss, tranquility, intuition. That your soul has super conscious energy, the energy that's connected straight to the divine, where when you learn to align your will with the divine will, through understanding and changing your whole perception and your thoughts and getting into positive thinking and rewiring your mind and your spiritual DNA, your life transforms. And this is what I want for you more than anything. And I know you're here right now because you have curiosity. You have a deep curiosity, and this is what is needed to move on. So if you find yourself in an unhealthy, toxic relationship, or you're even questioning if you're with somebody who is narcissistic, I know the first thing the curiosity wants to do is just go online and research everything. I know I did. I'm speaking from experience, and look and find out everything about narcissists. And, you know, is this really how this person is? And we can spend hours, days, months, even years. I'm here to encourage you to spend this time on opening up your own heart to understanding the empathic characteristics. That's just much more efficient. And I know we have a curiosity for both of them, and that's fine too. But when I look back, I was just like looking like, wow, all this time I spent, I could have had all this time with these thoughts put on my own issues and my own understanding. And another great exercise I want to share with you is a very simple statement that literally changed my life. If it's good for you, it's good for them. And when you write this down, like get a book out, a little journal, and write down, what is good for me? And then when you're writing down what is good for you, like when I did this and I started writing down, right away my mind was coming back to like, oh, but them, oh, what about them? Oh, I feel sorry, you know? And I had to keep bringing myself back to what is good for me? What is really good for me? Getting in touch with that. And knowing when you take care of yourself, what's good for you, having this faith in God, in your great creator, knowing that they will be taken care of. That's not our responsibility. I think one of the biggest mistakes empaths make, and I know I did too, is we have this illusion that we're going to fix and reform somebody else. Oh, if I could just love unconditionally. Oh, well, I can't judge. And we try to love more. We try to be more. We try to do more. And when something happens, right away we get in our mind, oh no, what did I do? What did I do wrong? This pattern needs to be eliminated, eradicated. And it takes some time, because a lot of times we don't even realize we have the pattern until you start doing these exercises. So make your list and start going through it and knowing whatever's good for you is good for them, because that is the truth, to take care of yourself. If you're in a toxic relationship or like with a narcissist, right away in their mind is, look what you did. You did this. They're blaming you all the time. So as an empath, if we have it, oh no, what did I do wrong? How can I improve? How can I become better? Oh my gosh, it's this crazy making game that goes on where we have to just learn and understand with ourselves that it's nothing we did, because empaths are very good, kind, genuine people. Their lights shine and they're very intuitive. And these are our gifts. So it's taking these gifts and bringing them into the world and mingling and co-creating with another in a balanced way is what we're bringing ourselves back to with all of this, being an empathic warrior. So I gave you some really good exercises. Please do them, because you will see your life transforming right before your very eyes. It's not what you know, it's what you do with what you know. Taking the information, implementing it, taking action on it, you're going to start seeing spiritual results, and you're going to start stepping into the happiness that you deserve. So in the next video, I'm going to continue on with a lot of good, deep inner work and journeys that I can share with you, so you can become an empathic warrior and claim your freedom back. If you like this and you want to continue, please subscribe to my channel by clicking below and click the bell so you get all my latest updates and newest videos. And keep dreaming this dream called life and make it a beautiful dream. And I want you to know that a strong support system is right here for you. There's so many of us in the Soul Portal that are staying together, because this is crucial to validate our truest, highest selves and to help each other walk through these patterns and walk through into our highest potential. So I will see you next time. And until then, reawaken your soul, follow your bliss, and shine your diamond light. Mwah! I love you.